All right, let's get right into it. So most of us have probably heard that a whole food plant-based diet can help with weight loss. But the real question is, how on earth does it work without the mind-numbing task of tracking every single calorie? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the science behind it all. We're talking physics, biology, and even psychology. I mean, if you've ever tried a traditional diet, you know the drill, right? You've got the apps, the food scale comes out for everything, the constant math in your head. It is absolutely exhausting. And, studies actually show that all that mental effort is one of the biggest reasons those diets fail. It's just not something most of us can stick with. It really feels like there are two totally different worlds when it comes to dieting. You've got the traditional way on one side, which is just this constant battle of restriction and tracking. But then, on the other side, the whole food plant-based approach just flips that whole script. It basically says, hey, focus on the quality of your food and you can eat until you're actually full. So how is that even possible? Well, the secret isn't some kind of magic trick. It really all comes down to physics. Yeah, physics. It's a simple but super powerful concept that completely changes how you think about what's on your plate and what makes you feel full. And that concept is called energy density. Really, all it means is calories per bite. Some foods like oils, cheese, or processed snacks pack a ton of calories into a tiny little package. But whole plant foods, they're the complete opposite. They are loaded with water and fiber, which take up a whole lot of space but have very few calories. And the difference is just staggering. Take a look at the bar for whole plant foods compared to the others. It's barely there. That's because foods like vegetables, fruits, and beans are mostly water. We're talking 70 to 95% water. This super low energy density is the whole reason you can eat a much bigger plate of food without accidentally overdoing it on the calories. Okay, to really see what I'm talking about, let's just pick a number. Let's use 500 calories and see what that actually looks like with different kinds of food. So for 500 calories, you might get a pretty small piece of chicken with a little scoop of rice. It's really dense with calories, and let's be real, it doesn't look like much. A plate like that often leaves you feeling like, is that it? Now for the exact same 500 calories, you could have a huge, steaming bowl of bean chili packed with veggies and a big salad on the side. The sheer volume of food is worlds apart. You're physically filling your stomach, and that sends the very first, very powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, we're good down here, time to stop. So that's the physics part of it. But it's not just about the physical space in your stomach. Eating this way actually kicks off this whole cascade of amazing responses inside your body that basically put your appetite control on autopilot. It's like a biological chain reaction. First, all that high volume, high fiber food physically stretches the walls of your stomach. That push activates these little sensors called stretch receptors that send that first I'm getting full text message to your brain. But honestly, that's just where the story begins. See, when all that fiber reaches your gut, your body releases these powerful hormones that make you feel satisfied. Two of the big ones are GLP-1, which slows things down and dials back your appetite, and peptide YY, or PYY, which basically yells up to your brain, all right, we've got enough fuel, you can stop eating now. Your body's built-in all-natural appetite suppressants. And here's where it gets really cool. It's not just about eating fewer calories. Your body actually gets better at burning the calories you do eat. It's a process that gets a pretty serious boost when you're eating whole plant foods. It's called the thermic effect of food. Fancy term, but it just means the energy your body uses to digest your meals. Because plant foods are so full of complex fiber, your body has to work a little harder to break them down. And studies show this can actually raise your metabolic rate, so you're burning more calories all day long, even when you're just sitting around. And of course, we can't talk about this without talking about your gut microbiome. All that fiber from plants, the stuff you can't digest, is the absolute favorite food for all the good bacteria living in your gut. And when those little guys feast on fiber, they produce compounds that help regulate your appetite and even improve your metabolism. It's another win-win. Okay, so we've covered the physics and the biology, but there's a third piece of this puzzle that's just as important, and that's the psychology. Why is this way of eating so much easier for people to actually stick with? This quote from the research really just hits the nail on the head. All the tracking, the measuring, the constant mental gymnastics, it's a huge burden. And when you take that one massive barrier away, when you just don't have to count calories anymore, you free up so much mental space. It reduces the stress of dieting, and that makes all the difference for sticking with it. What this really does is it shifts your entire mindset. So instead of obsessing over the quantity, the number of calories, you just focus on the quality of your food. The main rule becomes super simple: eat whole plant foods. That clarity makes every food decision so much easier and helps you build real, sustainable habits instead of just relying on willpower, which we all know runs out. So, when you put all these pieces together, the physics of food volume, your body's amazing biological response, in the pure psychology of simplicity, you get this incredibly powerful system. It's kind of like putting weight loss on autopilot. So let's just recap real quick. It all starts with low energy density foods, which let you eat more and feel way more satisfied. That feeling of fullness, plus a happy gut and better metabolism, means you're burning more calories without even trying. And the best part, you're doing all of this without the mental stress of counting every last thing, and that is what makes it something you can actually do for life. At the end of the day, what this all shows us is that it doesn't have to be about restriction. It's not about fighting your body's hunger signals. It's about working with your body. By just changing the quality of your fuel, you let your body's own amazing systems handle the rest. And that kind of leaves us with a final question to chew on. For decades, we've been told that managing our weight is all about eating less, about depriving ourselves. But what if all this science is pointing to something totally different? What if the real key isn't restriction at all, but abundance? If you want to dive even deeper into creating sustainable, healthy habits, take a look at this video I made. It's packed with practical tips you can start using today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.